Hi everyone, it's Adina, as I'm sure you're familiar. I just thought, being Good Friday, for us that are Catholics, or being the week before Easter, which is next week for the Orthodox, it might be a good time to talk about some issues that um, are topical at the moment, isn't it? Thinking about the resurrection of Jesus, for those of us that do believe in that, and it's perfectly all right if you don't. But I am addressing a topical, in my opinion, subject this evening, which is living in hell or living in heaven. Um, and isn't it? We think that heaven and hell comes or happens after we die, after we pass away. But actually, I find that it is very relevant and prevalent in today's world as well. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by hell? Well, there are many definitions. I'm sure that you're aware, and the Bible is riddled with examples and stories of the afterlife and the hell. But what I find is that hell is your deepest fears come to life, and it is living your deepest fears, and sometimes you don't even know, sometimes you're not even aware of it, and it's just isn't it, you hear sometimes people say and talk, this is life, or just getting by, or um, what can you expect, and things like that, like taking it for granted, where actually you do have a choice in what sort of life you create and in what sort of um, experience you bring in your life. So actually you can create a heaven on earth as well, not only just go go by and just live without engaging with the experiences that you have. And what I mean by that is just um, suppressing the way that you really feel about the experiences that you're having. So if something were to happen to you, like your car gets stolen, you know, it is perfectly all right to get mad, and it is perfectly all right to feel your feelings. But sometimes we disengage with life, and that is, you know, to become numb to the way that we feel is a very dangerous thing, because then we don't know where we're heading, or we don't know what our preferences are. Right. So this, you know, heaven and hell, it reminds me of a story that Penny Quell Pierce says. Penny Quell Pierce is my teacher from Acorn to Oak. She's taught me pretty much everything that I know, and I am grateful to have her in my life, truly am. And also for the Buffalo team that we have formed as well, which is my my fellow students on the path. So this is the story. There, there are people in a room, in a very nicely arranged room, and the people are nicely dressed and they're good looking, and they're all sitting around a dinner table filled with the most amazing food that you can ever imagine and taste. But no one is eating. Everyone is starving and everyone is in pain. They're crying and they're looking miserable. And the reason for that is because they have giant spoons, forks, and knives instead of hands. So there are waiters waiting to feed them more and more, but there's no more space on the table because no one is eating. And in a separate room in next door is the same situation. There are people that are nicely dressed, and the table is filled with the most amazing food that you can ever imagine. But here, everyone is eating and everyone is enjoying themselves. And before you jump to conclusions, they also have hands, and they also have spoons, forks, and knives instead of hands. But here, they've learned to feed each other. So in the first room, they don't eat because they can't reach their own mouths. But in the second room, that's perfectly all right. It's the same situation, but they get out of their own way and they feed each other and they communicate, they express their preferences, and the person opposite them or the person next to them feeds them exactly what they would like. So what is the difference between heaven and hell? Hell, it really is what you make of it. If there is something that you don't like in your life, that is perfectly all right not to be satisfied or to wish to have a better life. But by all means, do something about it. Don't just become complacent and say that, oh, this is life, isn't it? Because it doesn't have to be like that. If you get out of your own way and you do things for others, and just like in the second room, you listen to the feedback that others give you, and you also communicate your preferences in a real, authentic way, then you will create heaven on earth, because then the universe will know what it is that you would like. So the universe can't wait to bend backwards for you. But sometimes it's easier than other times to manifest what you would like in your life. And in those times when you find it difficult to maybe manifest the right partner or job or um, the right house for you, for example, then put your hand on your heart, bring it in, think about what is it within yourself that is stopping you from having this amazing experience or from having the things that you'd like to manifest. And sometimes, I'm sure you've heard me talk before about reflection. This is when reflection is golden. If there is something that you'd like to achieve, but you're not quite there yet, what is it that stops you from achieving that? So again, it's if it is a better partner, or if you happen to manifest the same amount or the same type of jobs or the same types of bosses, then I always look within myself, and it's, well, always is like, never say never, or don't always say always. But my aim and game is to look within myself and find what is it that is causing me to have that experience, and what can I do in order to move on. So, spoken about hell, what is heaven then? So heaven is, in my opinion, in my experience, it's ever new joy, ever new bliss, ever new peace. And just like I was talking about earlier in hell, if there is something that you're attracting, the experience that you're attracting, and you're not happy with it, it's not good enough, the job is not good enough, or your life is not good enough, then again, there are things that you can do in order to change that, and you can let it go and move on to a better life. But if in heaven is the same, it's ever new joy, ever new bliss, ever new peace, ever new. It reminds me of an experience that I had in my previous job. I was serving a customer, working at the bank, and something happened. The experience or the service that I provided to that person, it was so amazing that they were really happy, and that made me happy. I honestly can't remember what it was, but what is important is what came after that. So it really made me happy, and I told my manager, because that sort of behavior was encouraged, and we exchanged good stories, and in order to keep us going and to keep us motivated. So honestly, that experience made my day. And then the next day I came to work, and my manager asked me, well, are you still happy from that customer from yesterday? And I said, you know what, today I will manifest and I will generate new happiness. What is yesterday happened yesterday, be that good or bad, but today is a new day, and I am seeking joy and happiness and peace in my life. And again, sometimes if it's difficult, it's perfectly all right. All you need is 15 seconds of insane courage in order to decide to change your life, to decide that you would like to have something better, in your life. And another story, I was watching a natural history show a few months ago, and there were some antelopes that were running because they were being chased by lions. Lions, obviously hungry, wanted to make the antelopes dinner. So the lion caught its own antelope, but the other ones, they were also running. You could see them, or even the presenter explained this. It might have been David Attenborough, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, it was a very good show. You could see the antelopes shaking their skin, just like the animals are able to, but shaking their body and literally shaking off the trauma that they've just experienced of being chased by a lion to make them dinner. And although we don't have real lions in society, I'm sure that you can empathize or with the metaphorical lion, which you might have in your life, be that good, be that a challenging boss or a challenging colleague, or it might even be a challenging partner. It's like you never really know when it is safe to relax. And if you do feel like that, I can totally empathize, because there were times when I would wake up in fears, and I would wake up sweats and literally having my whole body shake in fear and in anxiety in the middle of the night. So I can totally understand what it is actually to live in hell, because let me tell you, that experiences, or those months when I was literally afraid to go to sleep, it was not pleasant. But I made the decision. I had the 15 seconds of insane courage, and sometimes I still need that courage in order to keep going and to keep moving on with my life. But the power and the authority it is within you. You have the power, and you need to empower yourself to take that decision of changing your life for the better. And if you feel that you've done that already, that's all right. if you feel that you're happy where you are, then that's perfect. That's what I would like for everyone on this earth, including myself. But if you feel that you need more and it's not enough, and you actually wish to manifest a better life, then you might need more experiences or 15 seconds insane courage. And you know what I took from that show that I saw with the antelopes is that we as humans, we are co-creators, and we are the only ones that we make ourselves suffer. No one else suffer. So the antelope, after he was chased down by the lion, obviously became dinner, but the other ones, they just shook it off and they continued on with their life. 10 minutes later, 5 minutes later, they were grazing again, and they were able to relax, and they were able to live happy, and they just got on with their lives. There is, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder is something that we feel, for those that do experience that, it's suffering exists only in humans. It is only us who creates the suffering, because we give our attention to it. Where intention goes, energy flows. If you put your attention on your ills, on your suffering, on your fear, that is what you will manifest more and more in your life, until that runs your life. And I totally know how it is to have a negative mental attitude. That is exactly what I had when I was having those experiences of waking up in sweats and in fear in the middle of the night. But if you put in the work, you do the inner process, and you find out what it is that you're really afraid of, or what it is that is stopping you from having an amazing, joyful life, then you can turn that around. You can turn that around and have an amazing, joyful life. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the difference between heaven and hell is you. What do you choose? Where do you put your attention on? Do you put your attention on the good things in life, or do you still criticize yourself and think about all the things that, in your opinion, haven't gone right? So again, we are co-creators in our lives. And if you'd like to create something better, it is within your power, and it is within your strength to do that. Right, so I have said everything that I wanted to say to you. I do hope that you enjoyed my talk. If you have themes that you would like me to talk about in the future, then please let me know, leave a comment. And if you do enjoy my talk, do share it. And if you would like to change your life and wish to have that experience of 15 seconds of insane courage, I'm here for you. Thank you.